make America great again. Thank you, Arizona. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
In the far distant land of common sense, a place where we all once lived, you'll find the Conservative College with Professor Toto. It is here where the foundational principles of our great republic are still taught and true patriots are still educated in the hallowed halls of this school of hope. Just like the iconic puppy from The Wizard of Oz, who found great joy in pulling back the curtain on the lies of the wizard, so does Professor Toto. Grab your seats and welcome to the Conservative College. Class begins now.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, America. Wake up. That's the bell. Class is now in session with the Conservative College. I am yours truly, your humble neighborhood, friendly, fluffy professor, Professor Toto. My job, to pull back the curtain on all the liberal lies. Welcome to class tonight. Boy, the Republic is on fire tonight with great news everywhere. There's so much good stuff to report that I don't even know where to begin. So I'm just going to begin, all right? There is great victory in our republic on 3 or 4 different fronts. I'm going to be reporting on all of that tonight. I'm going to be breaking down some things that you need to understand. Before we do that, would you do me a favor? Hit the like button, hit the love button, hit the share button right now. Be a giver and not a taker. That's how we pay our class dues, our college tuition, with a simple share. Right now, I'm waiting to watch the shares. There they go. Thank you. And good evening, Roku. Over 6,000. Now, I'm competing with Donald Trump tonight, unfortunately, and that's not easy. And I did not know he was going to be on tonight with Sean Hannity, but oh well, I just didn't want to cancel class because I've had to cancel quite a few in the last few months. But we still have over 6,000 viewers on Roku alone. And then over on FHTV, hello FHTV.tv, and Rumble. Good evening, Rumble. The numbers are running up at Rumble right now. Facebook and YouTube, welcome tonight. Lot of news to report. Before I get started tonight, Tuesday night, we had such a wonderful class, but I've been having a delay between the video and the audio, and I know that's aggravating. I know that's frustrating. I can't hardly watch it when it doesn't line up. So I have changed cameras, thinking that the camera, I was using a professional Canon camera, and I'm thinking there was a delay between that camera. So would you give me a sound check real quick? Are the lips matching the audio? I pray they are. I hope that fixed the problem. I'll wait to hear from some of you. I'm looking now to see if the lips are matching up on your screen with the audio. Everybody, great. They said it's perfect. Yay. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Teresa, T. Thomas, Chef Julio Rubio, Carlo. Hello. Welcome, Linda Mansfield. She said it looks great. Sounds good. So that means we are ready to rumble. We're all lined up. Oh, thank you, guys. I did go back and edit Tuesday night's class. So if you would like to watch that monologue, it is available on our FHTV channel and our YouTube channel. You can go watch them there. And if you wanted to share those, it was really a great class on Tuesday night. I won't be here long tonight. I have a 9 o'clock Zoom call with the elders of my church. So I will have to get off of here in time for that. So I'm going to jump right in. Before I get started, we have a winner of the Donald Trump Pure Silver coin. Everyone here knows we love gold and silver, like big time, especially those collectibles that increase in value so much quicker than bullion does. So for every one of you that has called us this week at godsmoney.info and you submitted a request for an appointment, we put you in a drawing and we just drew a name. You're going to win a pure silver Donald Trump coin. And the winner is, now, we will draw again next Thursday night. How do you get in that drawing? So simple. Let us give you a free consultation about gold and silver and answer your questions. Just go to godsmoney.info. You can do that right now. godsmoney.info. Book an appointment. As soon as we keep that appointment, you go in. Congratulations tonight to Frederick Onoja, Onoja. Congratulations, Frederick. You have a Donald Trump coin coming in the mail to you. Thank you so much for going to godsmoney.info and booking an appointment with our team, and you have won. A few shout outs tonight, and then we'll get right in to tonight's amazing coverage. I wanted to do something very special tonight. Some of you have been with me from the very beginning. Some of you have been with me from that first viral video that had 10 million views in one day. Some of you have been with me when God supernaturally launched me to the nation. And many of you have supported us from the beginning. You joined the Patriots Buying Club. And a lot of times we give shout outs to the new people that join the club every day. They go to buybywalmart.com and they join our buying club to buy from other patriots. But some of you have been buying from us for 3 solid years. You are our heroes. You are what keeps us going. I want to thank the following people. Now, many more of you will be on this list in each class, but I'm going to do 12 tonight. Quickly, I want to thank John and Patricia Call. I want to thank Allison Shatter, Eileen Kushan, Linda Andreas, Kara and Audie Hiddle, Missy and Brian Lutz, Kristen and Jamie Peachy, Justina and Alan Morgan, Michelle Ames, Shannon Andrews, James Wilburn, Mary Barnes, and Susan Vanderberg. 12 out of thousands of you. We're going to get to you, but that's your shout out tonight, because every month you go and support buying from other patriots, patriot-owned business, and you are Professor Toto's heroes tonight. All 12 of you. Thank you very much. Guys, y'all are going. And by the way, if you would like to help us, go to byebyewalmart.com. That's it. byebyewalmart.com. Y'all got to see this video that I'm about to play. This video is gold. Judge Ignoramus is at the gym, and he gets a surprise visit. He has no idea that it's James O'Keefe. And here you're going to hear a non-biased judge engaging in conversation and listening to conversation against who? MAGA. And you're also going to see him being a creeper and creeping out a woman that tells him to back away from her as he hits on her in the early morning hours.
So we're at the Equinox in Great Neck, New York, and Arthur the judge is sitting inside the Equinox in New York. So I'm going to go in there and try to talk to him.
Wow. I love you. Can I take a selfie with you? Sure. I know why you're here, too. What's that? I said, I know why you're here. Oh, yeah? Absolutely, 100%. When did you get here? Like, now, usually.
Multiple sources reached out to us about Arthur Engoron, the judge in Manhattan who fined Trump $354 million in damages, barring him from running businesses in New York City for 3 years. One source even sent us a video saying that Arthur Engoron creeps girls out in an Equinox gym in Long Island. At the end of the clip, the woman is visibly annoyed by the judge and tells him to back off, gesturing with her hands. Other sources confirmed the Equinox he works out in at 5 a.m. is in Great Neck, New York, so we decided to work out alongside him.
I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. Thank you for what you did. Thank you so much.
For what?
Thank you for what you did. Man, I must have felt good. Oh, shit. Making these modern people out of the state. Just thank you from all my heart.
Thank you. What's your day job?
I was wearing the OMG t-shirt which said O'Keefe Media Group, but the judge didn't know who I was.
My day job, I work in publishing. I print magazines. Yeah. But it really means a lot to me. Now he's on that. Yeah.
John?
You're all mine, man. So keep it up. Thank you.
Yep. 10 and 15 reps. We want to keep a nice tall chest, hold it nice and low.
I get it.
What's your name?
Jim. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Take care.
Well, right there, you have a non-biased judge talking with James O'Keefe, letting him know that, yes, there's a lot of hate from MAGA, And yes, we've got to get them out of New York. And when he's not doing that, he's over there creeping the women out. This is your fine judicial system on full display. Also, state of Illinois, don't worry. A lot of you have emailed me about the judge there in Cook County, Judge Tracy Porter. She has, in all of her glory, kicked Donald Trump off the primary ballot in the state of Illinois. But ladies and gentlemen, it's all hocus pocus, just like Colorado. Remember I told you, Colorado, he will be on the ballot. I give you my word, Illinois, have no fear. Tuesday, whenever your primary is, Donald Trump will be on the ballot. All right, we have a huge I told you so. I told you so. Oh, I told you so. I told you this about, I'm going to say, 3 months ago, maybe. I could not find the clip because I've been so busy today, but maybe some of you will remember. A few months back, the United States Constitution had a vote to pass the name of the bill. I'm trying to remember the name of the bill. It was a $1.7 trillion omnibus spending package. And if you'll remember, I told you when they passed that bill, I told you it was illegal. Why did I tell you that? Because all the members of the Congress were not present in the building. I told you that that is against the quorum clause of the U.S. Constitution. Everybody thought I was crazy when I said it. As a matter of fact, Right Wing Watch quoted me on that program saying it was illegal. And of course, they told me that I was crazy. Let's talk about the quorum clause, because today, in fact, the Supreme Court ruled for Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. He filed a lawsuit against the Congress for passing this omnibus bill illegally. Ladies and gentlemen, truth may be a long time coming, but when it comes, it don't take long. It just comes like bam, wham, it's done. And when that happens, it gives credence to the law. Here is what the Constitution says in the quorum clause. It mandates that the chambers of Congress must have a majority of members physically present to constitute a quorum before official business may be conducted. So who has to be in the chamber? A majority of the House. That gives you, they have to be physically present. They can't do it by proxy. Physically present in the House. However, in December 2022, Nancy Pelosi still had COVID on the brain. She thought she could use COVID as her excuse, like they did in the 2020 election, to just sort of slide things through, circumvent the rules, circumvent the law, and send out that $1.7 trillion called the Consolidated Appropriation Act of 2023. How did she grease the wheel? What did she do? Oh, we don't need a majority. We're going to let you stay home and vote by proxy. Then Joe Biden signed the law knowing it was passed illegally. See, this goes back to the 2020 election. When we tell you that the state legislatures decide the voting rules in their state, when we tell you that mail-in ballots have certain little words called rules that have to be abided by, or else the vote is invalid. Well, COVID caused all of those loopholes to close. Do you know why Donald Trump's going to win in 2020, 2024? Roar 24. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because there'll be no COVID. He would have had it in 2020 had it not been for COVID. But God allowed COVID to happen for a very specific reason, so that Donald Trump would have influence for more than 8 years, but 12, the number of divine government. So what did Attorney General Paxton do? He sued and won. Today, the court said these words. Are you ready? The little man won. Texas beat the big man. Congress acted egregiously by passing the largest spending bill in U.S. history, and they did it by breaking the law. With fewer than half the members of the House bothering to do their jobs, show up and vote in person, former Speaker Nancy Pelosi abused proxy voting under the pretext of COVID-19 to pass this law. Biden signed it knowing they were violating the Constitution. They have no qualms with violating the Constitution to get votes or to get money. They have no problem violating the rules to get their way. It was a stunning violation, and the court has ruled in Texas' favor. Somebody say victory. Ring the bell. Victory. Great, great victory today in a court of law. Truth wins in the end, always. Well, let's talk about some insanity in Texas, if you will. This is a ruling from a federal judge today. What is his genius ruling? Here is what he said. Texas passed a law, and the governor signed the law. You know, the legislature doing their job. What did the law say? It expanded the power to arrest people that were illegally crossing into the southern border. That's right. The state, the representatives of we the people passed the law. The governor of we the people signed the law. And today a judge says, no. Matter of fact, U.S. District Judge David Ezra granted an injunction that will block Texas law, which made border crossing illegally a state crime. And now you have that great ruling in the state of Texas. What a sad, sad day we are living in. However, there is great news in the state of Texas. Great news. And that great news came to Texas today. President Donald John Trump, share. Come on, folks, please share this. Let's get the message out tonight. Donald Trump in the state of Texas with Governor Abbott. And there he is looking at the situation in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, he was not the only one in Texas. Joe Biden was in Texas. What does that tell you today? The 2024 election will be about one thing, not even the economy. And the beautiful thing about 2024, see, God knew what he was doing. Yahweh knew exactly what he was doing. Abortion is at the bottom in 2024. That is not what's driving this election. It's what drove the midterms. I'm so glad the Supreme Court ruled against Roe v. Wade before the midterms instead of doing it right now. It would have pummeled Donald Trump. See, God knows what he's doing. The heart of the judge is in the hand of the Lord. They ruled just in time to give us a miracle in the midterms. Oh, yes, we had a miracle in the midterms. What was it? We did not get a red wave. What would have happened, class, if we would have gotten a red wave? Anyone? What would have happened? The rhinos would rule and Donald Trump would be ineffective. But because we didn't get a red wave, we had the caucus, the Freedom Caucus, that has controlled the House. Donald Trump controlling them now for 4 years. I'm sorry, for 2 years. So therefore, the Trump government was 4 years in the presidency, 2 years running the House, and then 4 years running the White House again. So abortion will not be what's going to drive people this year. It is what you saw today. 2 men, one is a president, the other is a resident of Oak Manor Nursing Home, White House nursing facilities. But both men were at the showdown, the battle. Where were they at? Eagle Pass, Texas. Now, interestingly, next month, right after next month, there's going to be another visitor at Eagle Pass, Texas. That's right. It's going to be the entry point of the eclipse, the full eclipse that will start its journey right there in America at Eagle Pass, Texas. It's almost like the storm clouds are gathering there at that particular place. So Joe Biden, by the way, in his speech is now referring to illegal immigrants as newcomers. That's right. Newcomers. Hey, if girls can be boys, why not? Aliens can be newcomers. Folks, words matter. Names matter. Things matter. I want to tell you when Joe Biden is going to finally lose even bigger than he's already losing on March the 7th. What is March the 7th? The State of the Union. There on full display, our whole nation will see how far Joe Biden's mental capacity has fallen. This will be a pivotal moment where people that are in the middle will fall away. Fall away about like all of Donald Trump's enemies. Like dominoes, they're falling one by one. And it's happening so quickly. It started off with 2 of Donald Trump's biggest adversaries that fought him night and day. Chris Cuomo, Donald Lamangelo, both of those men gone, completely ineffective now. Then Governor Cuomo gone, Jimmy Kimmel, Paul Ryan gone, Liz Cheney into oblivion, Mitt Romney, bye-bye, Adam Kinzinger, yesterday's news, Chris Christie, Mitch McConnell, gone. He surrendered to Donald Trump yesterday. He cried mercy yesterday. He realized that the swamp is about to get so drained that the main tortoise or turtle of that swamp might want to get out now while the getting is good, and none too soon, I might add. Speaking of another enemy of Donald Trump that has fallen, but she left a gift. What is her name? Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Oh, Ruth. Ruth. Anyway, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ginsburg. Anyway, she made a ruling in 2019. She made a ruling in Timms versus Indiana. What was Timms versus Indiana? It was a situation where someone had been fined way too much by the court. That's exactly right. And it may very well be her ruling on Timms versus Indiana that's going to set Donald Trump free from this exorbitant nightmare of a $500 million fine. Here is what she referred to in her decision. She said the prohibition embodied in this excessive fines clause, the 8th Amendment, The Eighth Amendment is what she argued against the fine. She said it carries forward protections found in the Magna Carta, to the English Bill of Rights, to every state constitution from the colonial era to the present day. Ginsburg says protection against excessive fines has been a constant shield throughout Anglo-American history for good reasons. Such fines undermine our liberties.
It's time to shed your cocoon, spread your wings, and fly like the beautiful butterfly that you are.
I think I will. She literally ruled that these excessive fines literally undermine our liberty. I could not agree more. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow patriots, they are losing their minds. I'm coming back with a huge, big, I told you so, right after this.
This is a massive development, Jake. The Supreme Court has agreed to take up the issue of whether former President Trump has immunity from the federal election subversion case that he is facing. Now, a unanimous appeals court several weeks ago issued a scathing opinion, a unanimous opinion saying that he did not have immunity that would shield him from the federal election subversion case brought by special counsel Jack Smith. So he asked the Supreme Court to pause that lower court decision with the possibility that they would take up this issue. And now we have learned that the Supreme Court will take up this issue. This means that they will hear arguments. Many legal experts and even sources I've spoken with in and around former President Trump's legal team do not expect that he would prevail on the merits of this. But now the Supreme Court has agreed to take up this case. Now, the immediate impact, before we even know what they decide, is that this will likely further delay that trial as we go away. So this is a very significant development, somewhat unexpected, that the Supreme Court has decided to take up Trump's immunity appeal.
There is a lot tonight to be pessimistic about. They could have ruled on this quicker. I mean, it took them 2 weeks to decide just this. And then, Joy, to your note, is that they have scheduled this in a certain way, in an expedited fashion, but not all that.
Do y'all see the fear? Do y'all see the realization that they're coming to? Do you see it in their eyes? Look closely. They know that the second coming is so much nearer than they ever believed.
All that expedited compared to like Bush v. Gore. This is 2 months. And so there's just a lot of reasons to be very pessimistic.
I agree. A lot of reasons to be very pessimistic.
Not maybe so much about the ultimate decision, but the ultimate decision is almost irrelevant, because even if they were to say that a president is not immune, by delaying it so much, they are de facto saying that this former president is immune.
It is.
So no matter which way it goes, Donald Trump wins.
It's frustrating to me that the idea that the U.S. Supreme Court is going to be delaying this trial for a couple of months to hear what is a very, very easy case legally.
To me, it's disappointing, it's troubling, just because of the delay it's going to occasion in the former president's criminal trial. But instead, they've thrown a monkey wrench into the schedule.
Bottom line, isn't this the Supreme Court rewarding the delay tactics and really legitimizing and affirming a schedule that ultimately could mean Donald Trump doesn't face trial by November, and thus got a kind of immunity in practice, if not in precedent?
They take so long in making that decision that they are giving de facto immunity. So
that if you're not going to have oral arguments till the week of April 22nd, Joan Biskupic was saying that would mean possibly a verdict in June. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but your bottom line is that would mean you would not get, even if that happened and they rule that he's not immune, you would not have a verdict before Election Day.
That the case could be set for trial in September, could be set for trial in October, could be set for trial immediately after the election. But I think the likelihood is that it's not going to, certainly in my view, it's not going to go to trial before the election.
I want to be crystal clear here about the import and significance of today's news, because I think a lot of reporting has missed this. What happened today, this one-page order, looks anodyne, right? It is an unmistakable sign from the MAGA majority of the Trump-created court that they are with him, that they are going to use their power to make sure he does not face trial in an election year for attempting to end American democracy.
Bam! Bingo! You got it, brother. You finally reported the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, they are losing their collective minds. Why? Because yesterday, February 28th, is when Donald Trump beat them all. When God beat them all. Yesterday's when it happened. Not, it's over. Listen to me, everybody. The title of tonight's class, I named it this for a reason. Just to drive the idiots insane. I named it this for a reason. The second coming. No stopping it now. We are there. Ladies and gentlemen, the second coming happened yesterday. I'm sorry, ain't gonna be no rapture. Oh no, too late for the rapture. Oh God, I can't wait for them to clip that part. Bunch of nincompoops. They fall for anything. Look, there ain't no rapture. The rapture done. Ain't got no time for no rapture with the second coming. It happened yesterday. And they know it. They know it. Listen to me, MAGA patriot. Your faith is about to pay off. What happened yesterday, I'm fixing to teach you about it. Don't go nowhere. Watch this. Watch Caitlin Collins losing her mind.
I'd actually step in and say, I think this is too close.
I mean, I think it's important to take a step back and realize how big this is. We talk about so many different legal developments, but this could actually decide whether this happens. And if it doesn't, if Trump does win the election, this case hasn't seen the light of day before then, he makes it go away.
Gone.
The jury, the American people, never get to hear these charges in this case argued.
They never hear this one, and they never hear the Mar-a-Lago case, which I agree with Shan was likely to be heard after the election. Anyway, so you think about that. If as some of us think that this unlikely with this decision today that we're unlikely to have this case tried before the election, you're basically looking at a 50-50 chance that either of these cases will ever go to trial.
It's remarkable, Joan, the role the Supreme Court is going to play.
Can't you feel? Hey, wake up, world. Can't you feel the explosion already? Notice what Caitlin Collins said at the end, because in my monologue tonight, entitled The Second Coming, I'm going to show you those words she said at the end, the role that the Supreme Court will play. Write that in your notes. I'm coming back to that at the end of tonight's class. Ladies and gentlemen, they are losing their collective minds tonight. Now, I promised you a huge I told you so. And I've got it for you. First of all, let's go here. I'm going to bring you back. I think I'm bringing you back to Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at the date, because I'm fixing to give y'all, get ready. This is a huge one. This is a big one. Big. Let's see what we find here. I believe this was reported February 27th. Okay, there we go. 2 days ago. What is Professor Toto doing? Oh, I'm watching the news. I'm going through all of my news sources. I'm listening. And I'm hearing the same, the same story on CNN, on Fox. I'm hearing it everywhere. What was the story 2 days ago? Yes, 2 days ago. Here was the story. I'm going to read you the story. How about that? Because Newsweek archived it, and I'm going to read to you. This was the headlines 2 days ago. I want to show you how dumb the experts are. Supreme Court could make a very rare move against Donald Trump. That was 2 days ago. Let's read it, shall we? Here we go. The Supreme Court may take a very rare step of releasing a ruling against Donald Trump in the presidential immunity argument without waiting to include a dissenting opinion believed to be delaying the proceeding, according to legal experts. Now, let me say something here. The news 2 days ago was that the Supreme Court was going to affirm the federal court's ruling that Donald Trump is not immune. All they were waiting on was that one Lone Ranger, you know, the man, he was going to dissent, Clarence Thomas. They were just waiting on Clarence to write his dissent, that's all. And then they are going to affirm it, send it to Judge Chutkan, and we're going to hang Trump on those gallows before the election. Okay, let's finish reading the story, because Professor Toto went live on Facebook and said, not going to happen. Donald Trump will be heard by the Supreme Court because he is immune. But let's keep reading this story, because after all, they're the experts, not your lowly professor by any means. They said there is a delay. Everybody was wanting to know what's taken so long. There is a delay, which still has not arrived. Several days after the briefings were filed, led to the speculation the Supreme Court will uphold the previous ruling from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit Court that rejected Trump's claim of immunity. The process is currently on hold as one of the judges is writing a dissent. My. Oh, my. Now, let's go down, and I want to read something for you. Responding to the Post, Lisa Rubin wrote, by the way, she's a lawyer and a legal expert. She said, in other words, if there are 5 justices ready to deny Donald Trump a stay, they can decide his motion without waiting for Clarence Thomas to finish his dissent. Attorney and legal analyst Jeffrey Evan Gold agrees that the SCOTUS is releasing a stay ruling without a dissenting opinion. It's very rare. In a separate post, Gold said that the immunity decision shows that Alito and Clarence Thomas are backdooring a delay by dragging their feet on the dissent. Harvard law professor Lawrence Tribe previously told Newsweek, y'all remember Lawrence Tribe? He's the one that fact-checked Professor Toto about January the 6th, said it would never happen. He said there is zero chance that the Supreme Court will rule in Trump's favor on the immunity. Now watch this. Randall Eliason said that while no one can be certain with what's happening, the longer it goes without one increases the likelihood they're going to go against Trump. Now, why is this important? Because we told you they will hear the case. They must hear the case. So all of the experts were wrong. Not only was there no dissent, it was a unanimous agreement to allow Trump to come to the court and fight for presidential immunity. I told you so. Oh, yes, I did. Now, I'll show you when we told you so. When we explained to you months and months and months ago that Donald Trump will get presidential immunity. Why? Because it is the law of the land. Let me show that to you real quick, just for memory's sake. That Donald Trump has presidential immunity on the false election claims. This came to us out of Pennsylvania. Let me give you the judge's name. In Pennsylvania, just this week, or the last week, he ruled that former President Trump cannot be sued by an election official over statements he made. Remember that word, statements he made. Now, I'm fixing to start teaching you about presidential immunity. Welcome to the monologue. Take notes. There was a lawsuit against President Trump, and I'll read you about that lawsuit. But notice what the judge said specifically. He is immune over statements from his mouth that he made by saying the 2020 election was fake, rigged. Now remember, all the other charges right now on President Trump all go back to things he has said. Keep that in mind. Follow me closely. We have a judicial ruling right now from Judge Michael Erdos of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right, I'm going to pause there. You can go watch the rest of it. Notice the date, August the 29th, 2023. And I continued there to teach you about presidential immunity. We told you from day one that Donald Trump will get presidential immunity, and we explained why. And you need to understand. Now, number one, the Circuit Court of Appeal, when they ruled against President Trump a few weeks ago on presidential immunity, here is where they missed it. Here is where they dropped the ball. I've read their ruling. Here's what they said. They said, we cannot imagine nor be convinced that immunity is offered to a president beyond his presidency. That's where they missed it. And that's where the Supreme Court's going to correct it. Watch what I tell you. Because in fact, Donald Trump is not requesting immunity for anything that has happened after his presidency. That's where they got it wrong in their minds. And why his lawyer did not push this and help them understand, I don't know. Now I'm going to show you why this is where he's going to win. Pay attention. Follow me now. The Fifth or the Circuit Court said we're not going to give him this immunity because we cannot envision that immunity is given to a president forever. Well, it's not. I agree with them. But what they're missing is what the Supreme Court is about to catch. How do I know that? Because I read the Supreme Court's ruling. And when they accepted this case yesterday, here is what they said. They said, we're not going to make a broad ruling. We only want to answer one question. Y'all be watching for this when it happens. Come back and say, Professor told us. Watch this. The Supreme Court is not going to be hearing a bunch of junk about Donald Trump. They're only ruling on one question. And I'm going to show you why they chose this question and worded it the way they did. Because of this question, I know how they're going to rule. I could always be wrong. Of course, I'm a human. But from what I can perceive from their question, I know right where they're going. If the Fifth Circuit said we're ruling against him because immunity cannot go to a president forever, well, they missed it. Here's where the Supreme Court is picking it up. Here's the question that they are going to rule on, and I quote, ready? The Supreme Court said that the court will decide one question, whether, and I'm quoting, and if so, to what extent does a former president, watch this, I know where they're going, because this is right where I would have gone, enjoy presidential immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure in office. Listen to the question again. The only question they're going to rule on is whether or not a president has immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct during his tenure in office. When did Donald Trump's tenure in office end? January the 20th. Anything before that date, or maybe even on that date, anything before that, he has presidential immunity on, including the classified documents that left the White House before January the 20th. Why do you think they chose this one question to answer? Because everybody knows the answer to that question. Everybody knows there was a ruling years ago that said anything a president does, not only in his official duties, but in the outer perimeter of his duties, he's totally immune from. If not, then no president could ever serve with a clear conscience. Anybody could blackmail a president. Anybody could say, hey, you rule the way you want, or when you get out, they're going to get you. A president must have freedom from that political blackmail to make the right choices for America. Now, let me answer the one question. By the way, it's also double jeopardy. He's already had a trial. He was found innocent. But let me say this as well. The main question that all of the left pundits are saying, are you saying that if he murders somebody, his political opponents, that he's immune? No. Because murdering someone has nothing to do with his duties as president. One of his duties as president is he's the executive officer of the land. He is to execute our laws. And if the law says what mail-in voting allows and what it doesn't allow, it's his job to fix that and to correct that. So don't listen to the stupid questions they ask. Well, could he kill somebody? Well, first of all, he could if it was protecting the nation. Absolutely. What do you think they do all the time? They do orders to go kill Osama bin Laden. Yeah, he can kill people, but it has to be connected to his official duties of what? Defending the Constitution of the United States of America. And his choice to have a secure election was defending the Constitution. If Donald Trump, or when Donald Trump is reelected, all he has to do, and here's how this is all going to go away. He tells his district attorney, or his attorney general rather, that serves at the pleasure of the president. He simply tells him to dismiss Jack Smith, and every case goes away. Well, do you believe in miracles? Do you believe in miracles? I do. Something supernatural is happening with President Trump. We're all witnessing the Trump miracle, the comeback, the second coming. We're watching it. We're waiting right now for time to catch up with prophecy. November the 3rd is a date that has already happened. For those of you that's living so uptight about all of this, your stomachs are in knots, and I want to teach you a lesson that I live by. Okay? When I know that God, the Almighty Yahweh, has spoken something about my life, I believe it. And what I do is I go ahead and move my mind from February 2024, and I move into the future. Literally. I literally move into where God said I'm going to be. And no matter what happens around me today, I'm not there. No. I'm already living in my future, and I'm looking a whole lot better over there than I look right now. I love when Kim Clement would say that one line. But I have learned to live in the promise, in the destiny. So even when I was at the bottom of my life, at the bottom of the barrel, in a cell, prison cell, so many years ago, God had already told me what today was going to look like, and I moved here. I want every patriot that believes in miracles, that believes that God has given us a promise for America. I want you to move right now and start living in November of 2024. Already get there. Go ahead and get your spot in line at the inauguration. Go ahead, move there now, and then everything you see happen behind you won't affect you no more. You're already at the inauguration. Why? That's called faith. We believe for the miracles. We believe for the miracles that God is doing in this nation and what he's going to continue to do in this nation. Now, if you believe in miracles, as I do, then you've got to know that this is about to happen again. This will be the second coming of Donald Trump.
First and foremost, it's finally here.
Going into this night, where do we stand?
This is where we stood coming into the night, 268 to 204, so clearly an advantage for Secretary Clinton.
Take a look here. If Donald Trump wins tonight, no matter who they voted for, take a look at these numbers here. 21% say they'll be concerned. 37% say they'll be scared.
This is what both candidates want. They want to be living there starting January 20th of next year. Florida's been going back and forth. Just changed again. It's only 11,000 vote lead just now. It changed.
Math on your feet. I like this.
The Empire State Building in New York City. Take a look at our running tally of the electoral vote. Anderson, this night is turning out to be a real nail-biter.
All along, the Trump campaign has been saying that Florida's a must-win for them. And I mean,
they can't win without it.
Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida.
You know, I'm guessing that the people in Brooklyn, I can see their fingers
That's
probably.
The Hillary Clinton headquarters.
Yeah, fingers probably bleeding because there's no more nail to bite.
I wouldn't call anything encouraging for Hillary Clinton at the moment, to be honest with you, my friend.
Wolf, the scene here is so different than it was a few hours ago when people were happy and relaxed. I have been looking around the room at people who are stone-faced. Some of them have been crying.
This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president.
This is the people rising up saying it's time to listen to us. It's time to listen to us in Michigan and Wisconsin and work for the people.
Hillary Clinton has called Donald Trump to concede the race.
And if you believe in miracles, you must now believe that Joe Biden is getting ready to call Donald Trump and concede the race at the second coming of Donald Trump. If you believe in miracles, you are living in one right now. Say goodbye to your fear. Say goodbye to your daily frustration. Go ahead, get your ticket to the inauguration in your mind. Stand there when this man walks from the darkness of oblivion, when he walks from the secret place of destruction that they threw him into, when he walks from the pit wearing a bloody coat, only to rise and stand on that dais and declare that it is time to make America great again. Good night.
The volatility of the
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her. Somebody lay hands on it. Through the night with a light from above, from the mountain my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Good night. God bless you. Good night. God